Hi, I'm Sarah Moore and this is how I host with style. I've got a busy day coming up. We've got friends joining us this evening and I have got a big winter menu and decorating planned for the whole day. So I'm hoping to make some sablé, which are little canapés, and then there's decorating, taking some of the outside inside. I'm going to show you how to turn everyday objects into beautiful candelabra, fireside cooking a massive seafood broil, and I'm also going to be making some cocktails. My favourite is the Sugar Plum Fairy, which is a slow gin based cocktail with champagne, and I've also got some great ideas to help you serve lots of people quickly so it's not stressful when everybody arrives. So the first thing that I would like to do is make the slow syrup for my Sugar Plum Fairy cocktail. And this is a great thing to have in your cocktail making armoury because it's a fantastic colour and flavour. Sloes are so bitter, so you need plenty of sugar, a nice glug of water, and then that just needs to be brought to the simmer. The lovely slow colour has transformed that water into a thick syrup, so I'm now going to strain it. So you're actually allowed to forage sloes from hedgerows, and you're supposed to make sure that there's been a frost before you use them to bring out the flavour, but if there hasn't been a frost you can pick them and pop them in the freezer and it does the same thing. And if you can't forage them, you can actually get them on eBay because nice kind people go and pick them out in the countryside and send them out to you frozen or fresh. Slow syrup is a really versatile thing because you can buy slow gin, but if you've got people who aren't drinking, then a slow syrup like this, which is non-alcoholic, adds a really new dimension to your cocktail making. Right, quick tidy up, and I'm going to set that aside to cool now, ready for cocktail prep later. I love a sablé. These are really crispy biscuits made from flour and butter and Parmesan cheese, and I've flavoured some and cut them into little vegetable shapes. Got a little caraway flavour for some beetroot. I've got some dill to go with my carrot and whizzed up petit pois that I put in one of them to make some little tiny peas, and I've got some pears as well. So I've got different shaped bases and I'm going to top them with different things to make really interesting looking canapés. I'm going to start off with the beetroot one. These have got a caraway base to them, and then I'm going to add some piped filling to them and then pop a real bit of beetroot and some leaves onto them. For the carrot I'm going to use some hummus and a little bit of smoked paprika. I love the carrots. I've got some blue cheese and walnuts for the pear because that's a nice combination, and the peas I've got some little tiny capers to go on them so they look like tiny little peas. Quite intricate, but it's worth taking the time. Having a party is a great excuse to decorate your house, and I've had loads of fun. I've taken a hula hoop from a pound shop and I have wrapped it in foliage that I found in a hedge, and I've got some paper streamers to drape over it. Doing something like that is really approachable in terms of cost, and it also lets you create something really dramatic and that takes up a big space and gives a big impact for not a lot of expenditure. And when you're having a party, it's nice to have a bit of fun. So I have got some old charity shop ornaments here that I want to turn into candelabra. I love a bit of modelling clay. It basically turns you into a potter. So this stuff you can buy online or at craft shops, and it dries in the air, so you don't need a kiln or anything. So take off a nice little squidgy lump of it, roll it into a ball, and then it's going to become a crown that is a candle holder for the dog. You can do crowns or hats. Maybe this would be nice as a hat. Each dog has its own personality and you have to discover what looks good on it. Talking of dogs, take a candle and push it down into the top of the hat. Here's one I made earlier. This one's got a crown on it and I've got some gold paint to make it look more like a decorative item. That's pretty much there. Cocktail time. You might wonder what the jam jar's for. They make the best easy serve cocktail. Basically, you put your cocktail in it, you stack them up, and then when people want one, they put their own ice in, they shake and they take the lid off, and they get left with a lovely glass ready to drink a cocktail out of. I'm going to use those later. But now I'm going to make my favourite Sugar Plum Fairy, which is a delightful winter cocktail using the sloe syrup we made earlier and some other ingredients. I'm going to start by putting some sugar rims around my glasses. These are really pretty tiny old hot glasses. You can get these all over eBay. They are literally a couple of pounds each, but I think they're really striking and quite sweet. I've made some sloe sugar, which is just caster sugar chopped up with a couple of sloe berries until it goes pink. This is a bergamot lemon, and I'm going to use a little bit of it to make the rim of the glasses wet, so I dip it in sugar and the sugar stays put. So it's called a sugar plum fairy because it has the sugar around the rim. It's got the plum, which is the sloe, and then it's got this, which is a hibiscus flower. That is the fairy. You can use the syrup as well in cocktails in the future, so don't throw that away if you've used all the little flowers up. Garnishing is all done, and now I'm going to add the sloe syrup with some gin and then top it up with some English sparkling wine. I'll also be serving eggnog martinis, so these are 1 part vodka, vanilla vodka is the best, 1 part amaretto and 3 parts vanilla custard, and you shake that over ice until it's really chilled, strain it into a glass and you top it with grated nutmeg. Fresh is best, it tastes delicious. Making fabulous ice cubes is a great way to add interest to your drinks. I've got some donut molds here which you can get online. They're made of silicone, so they're great for making ice cubes. And I want to have a go at making a winter wreath version, so it will sit in the big jam jars that I'm serving the cocktails in and look really decorative. So winter is citrus season. They add flavour and colour to your drinks. These are finger limes, which is a really slim, tiny pink version of a lime. So this is a bit like floristry and mixology meeting, because what you're going to do is arrange prettily into each ring some fruit and some of these little leaves to make it look like a Christmas wreath. I'm going to start with the rosemary, get some of that in. And then what I've got here are some little bay leaves, which I've cut to make look like tiny leaves. I'm just going to pop those in as well. I want these in my drinks, don't you? Bergamot margarita. Oh, it's lovely. Seafood broils sound like a really complicated, difficult thing, but actually they're a one-pot wonder. You can feed 2 dozen people with 1 pot and you have a sensational, luxurious dish. There are newspaper sheets on the table, so we can just scrunch up all of the shells and get rid of them, and that's easy to tidy up as well. They sound like they're done. I've always wanted to do that. When people come over, I love to have multiple locations to eat and enjoy talking in. So we've got canapes set up inside, we've got a bar and a seafood broil outside, and then inside I've set the table. I've got the flower pot loaves that I made by just oiling some flower pots and baking some bread in them, and dessert and cheese and chocolates all set up ready to welcome people for later on. So lots of fun to be had in lots of different places. Try that, what do you think? That'll get the party started, won't it? If you're wondering what pudding was, it's panettone toasted over the fire to go with zabaglione cream. I hope you've been inspired, and thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the Times Life and Style channel.